Okay, meeting's called to order at 7. Members present, both of us. And our guests, thank you very much. Hear from the public? Anything? Nothing from Paul. Okay, hear from boards, commissions, and committees?
No, briefing.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I read ahead. Okay, going through the briefing, would you like to take us through? You documented it up for us, Chris?
Sure. OPM has advised us that the steep grant awards are going to be extended to on or about April 1st.
October 1st?
I mean, October 1st. I don't know why I keep saying April today. The bond commission that was scheduled for September 25th has been canceled. So the next bond commission meeting is scheduled for October 30th. That's going to put the remediation grant, it's going to push it further out because they can't announce the grant until after the bond commission approves the funding.
Did they say why they were pushing it out?
Because there's a special session this week. That's what I was led to believe.
Thanks.
We got a notice from Eastern Highlands Health District that they and the town of Mansfield are hosting a COVID-19 testing event at the Senior Center in Mansfield on Wednesday, September 30th from 11 to 2, Monday, October 5th from 11 to 2, and Monday, October 12th from 11 to 2. We're going to get the October and the 2 October dates in the Citizen. It's open to any area residents.
Perfect.
We have 4 tax refunds to add at the end under new business. And under new business on the agenda, we have the land use clerk. You guys are going to vote on, excuse me, changing it to a temporary to a full-time position. And Karen has been in touch with the union. We're going to have to post it for 5 days before it can go on the website, but we will be able to make the October issue of the Citizen.
Good.
And that's it for a briefing.
The only thing also I'd just like to add in briefing, I did have an opportunity to talk to Sherry York today about the concert and scarecrow contest yesterday. I stopped by there for a little under an hour, but it was later in the afternoon. About 90 participants were counted on the count that went in. They had staff, and I think Melissa at the beginning at the entry to the park, stopping cars, advising them about our mask policy and also the social distancing. By the time I got there, the crowd was down, I guess was down to about, I think I counted 35 or 40. And everybody was practicing the social distancing. Kids seemed to be having a blast, plenty of room to run around or whatever. But all in all, I think it was a success. I think if they had had more time in planning it, like I assume maybe next year they'll do. And of course, hopefully we'll have this COVID thing behind us. They'll get much better of a turnout. But all in all, it went well. It seemed everybody attended was happy with the program.
Very good. Thank you, Bill. Okay. And all right. So moving forward, there's nothing else on that. Is that correct?
Right. I don't have anything else.
So now going into acceptance of the minutes of the special meeting of September 8th.
So moved.
I'll do a second on that, but before we approve that, I didn't see, and it's probably because Chris had left the meeting, but there was something where we did thank you for all of the help you've been giving both Bill and me as we do this co-leading, and it's very much appreciated. So if it doesn't get into those minutes as an amendment, then I would want them to go into these minutes. Bill,
Okay.
Bill, are you okay with that? You want to suggest?
No, absolutely. And we do appreciate your efforts, Chris. We understand for a number of reasons this is a difficult time, but we do appreciate your efforts there.
Thank you.
And also Sherry's and Cheryl's.
Absolutely. All the town hall staff.
Yep. So thank you. All right. So we've got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. Thank you. Old business, discuss the town of business reopening strategy draft policies. We tabled it at the September 8th meeting.
Yeah, my suggestion, we carry it on the agenda, but we don't take any action right now.
I'm in total agreement.
One of the things that I think we ought to add to that, I've got several people that have commented to me that they're looking forward to us reopening the book
The library?
at the transfer station, the little book exchange thing, and also the drop-off center. So I think when we're talking about this at a later date, Catherine, it's something we ought to keep in mind.
Yeah, I think we'll probably want to look at how the library is handling the, they're dealing with books as well. And there's a certain protocol they're taking with people taking books out and things like that, and then the return of books. So just something to kind of keep in the back of our minds as to aspects of how that's being handled, because we don't want people picking up.
I certainly wouldn't want to open it without talking to the health district or following any guidelines, but
I think before we open anything, we should always be going to them.
Yeah, I agree. But I think we ought to keep it in the back of our minds that it would be nice if we can eventually figure out a strategy on how we're going to address that.
Very good. Thank you. Discuss and act on temporary land use clerk job posting. I know everybody is feeling the loss of Beverly. We do need to fill this slot, and if we also have here in the information we've been provided, the job description. Looking at it right.
But this is the posting that I sent you today. This is what we're going to put up to post.
Yep.
The job description has a lot more meat in it, but basically it says the same thing.
And we're keep
The
going.
union was fine with it.
I'll make a motion that we follow through with what Chris has said about just advising the union appropriately, but expanding that to a full-time permanent position. And once we have an acknowledgement from the union, then posting in our advertising wherever we did the last time on a temporary basis.
That works for me. Chris, are you comfortable with that?
Yep.
Very good. You said you made the motion, Bill?
Yes.
I'll second that. Any more discussion?
I'm all set.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. All right. Moving along to new business. Award fire truck bid as recommended by the volunteer fire department. It is my understanding, and Bill's, I know you asked, we asked Duncan for some advice, but we had one bid that came in late, and that one has been discounted, so to speak. And the fire department has made a recommendation based upon the other two bids that we had that came in on time. I read it, it looked good to me. Do we want Paul to speak to it in any way?
I'd like to hear from the fire department.
All right. If you want me to answer any questions, but the bid that we recommended, obviously, one of the things was it meets financially the dollar amount that was already awarded at the capital expenditure during the budget as a capital expenditure. So that was one of the primary things. Otherwise, both bids met the spec completely. There were no surprises, no changes. It was more about the money. I don't think that anybody on the truck committee wanted to go back to the town and say we need another 51,000. I think it would have been
Right.
to make it basically a fancier truck. We don't need that. I don't think the chief disagrees with me, and
Bill and Catherine, the difference in the bid was the material that the truck is made out of.
Mm-hmm.
We bid an aluminum body truck. The one bid that we got, there was 391,000. They don't build aluminum body trucks. They build
Aha.
stainless steel. That
Stainless
is
steel.
the difference in the cost.
Yep.
Both trucks met the requirement. As I put in the letter from me and Paul, we already have one of the company we're recommending trucks. We haven't had a problem with it. And I'm very comfortable recommending to you people to accept that bid.
Very good. Bill, did you have any
Very
other
good.
questions?
Yeah, in the first paragraph, A, you mentioned the $3,000 there. Is that for an additional above and beyond what our spec was, or what is that $3,000 address?
When we got approved, Bill, we got approved for $340,000.
Yeah,
As you see the quote is 336, 600 and something.
okay,
As you know, in any contract, when you go there, there might be something that you missed, like that would require a change order,
absolutely.
something like that. So you have that $3,000 buffer in case there's something we missed, is what I'm saying.
Okay, very good.
Okay? And I believe when I provided the financing quotes to Ralph earlier for the board of, they were figuring the finance charge at $340,000. Okay? So if we use the 3,000, we do. If we don't, it's a buffer you got.
Gotcha.
Very
Okay.
good.
Very good. Did you have a chance to look at that third bid that was rejected? I mean, I took a quick look, and it was
did.
even more than our
Yes,
higher.
we did. Yes, we did, Bill. And his bid was even higher.
I saw that.
yeah.
Okay? And
Was there a reason for that, or was that because he had it sitting on the lot?
I believe that's something he's probably already got built,
Okay.
without the cabin chassis.
I see
And
Paul
again,
is,
that's a
sorry.
stainless.
Yeah, it was a stainless body, and the other problem was one of the things as the chairman of the truck committee that I was driving for was standardization, and there was a lot of differences in that bid that while it met the spec, it did truly meet the spec. It wasn't exactly the same. They used a lot of equivalency, and that's not what we're going for here. My goal was to make it consistent across the board as we move forward. So
I always think that's a good idea and the way to go.
quite honestly, it's kind of a moot point anyway, because they were so far above the budgeted amount. Again, I can't see. I mean, you know me at the Board of Finance meetings, especially Catherine, right? I would have a hard time explaining to myself why we needed a stainless steel body fire truck when aluminum has worked well for us through the years for another, and that would have been $58,000 more.
So what I'd like to add too is I've known you guys for years and how the fire department has conducted themselves in terms of getting the machinery we need and everything. And you have been consistently frugal and used a lot of common sense and really done a great job. So I think you did the same thing with this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Catherine, I'll make a motion to move the recommendation of the Ashford Volunteer Fire Department for the truck submitted by New England Fire Equipment.
And I'll second that. Any more discussion? All in
Aye.
favor? Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yes, thank you very much, and thank
You're
you for all
welcome.
you
Thank
do.
you.
Okay, remarks for the good of the board.
We have to add the board tax refund.
I'm gonna make a motion, Catherine, to add tax returns, reimbursements
Very good.
to the agenda.
I second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, tax returns. And that will be item 8B, correct?
Yes. And I'll make a motion to approve the tax refunds for the 4 individuals stated and cite the statute.
Very good. I second that. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you very much. Remarks for the good of the board. I would like to make sure that it gets in here to thank Christine and Cheryl, and Christine in particular, Cheryl and Sherry much for their help as we've been working through this co-management, co-leadership. They've been very helpful.
Absolutely. Second.
The other thing I'd like to do is say that Beverly will be missed, and how much we appreciated her support, her work over the years, and her friendship.
Absolutely.
In relation to that, tomorrow, we're gonna plant 4 rose bushes outside her office windows.
Fantastic.
Very nice.
Are we gonna get a little plaque or anything, Chris?
Yeah. Yep.
Good. Very good.
And we're gonna thank her for her many years of service to the town, not just for, like you said, you
Employment.
don't realize how much she's done.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll do something.
Absolutely.
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you
Thanks,
for
Chris.
organizing that as well.
I move adjournment.
And I agree. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion
Y'all have a
passes.
good night.
You too.
Have a good night, everybody. Thanks.
Good night.
Thank you,
Good night,
Paul.
Polly.
Good night, Polly.
I'm leaving now.
Yep.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
See ya.